Well, good morning. I'm Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez, and I represent the 53rd Assembly District. Before we begin, I want to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So when everybody can please stand and face the flag. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let's be seated. As we gather here today to honor the courageous efforts of our firefighters who responded to the Historical Society of Pomona Valley Fire in September, I want to start by taking a moment to acknowledge some of our local officials, community leaders, and most importantly, our brave firefighters and first responders. First of all, thank you, Senator Susan Rubio, Pomona City Manager Dr. Ana Gutierrez, and Eva Thais Mais, who's attending on behalf of Supervisor Solis. Thank you to Fire Chief Moroni, Deputy Fire Chief Eleni Papas, Division 2 Assistant Fire Chief Stephen Cabrera, Division 8 Acting Assistant Fire Chief Dustin Robertson, and Battalion Chief Manny Crayon, and from Los Angeles, and the members from the Los Angeles County Fire Department. And thank you, Deborah Clifford, President of the Historical Society of Pomona Valley, for being here today. But last but not least, a special thank you to Pomona Battalion Chief 15, Pomona Quint 185, Pomona Engines 182, 183, 184, and 186, Pomona Squads 182, 183, San Dimas Battalion Chief 2, San Dimas Quint 64, Claremont Engine 101, Glendora Engine 286, Walnut Engine 61, and Diamond Bar Engine 121 for your extraordinary bravery and commitment to protecting our community and preserving the city of Pomona's history. Thank you. So when I first heard of this fire, I thought for sure this building behind me was lost, and all its history, which had been a tragedy, since recently I just championed over $3 million in funding to rehabilitate the Historical Society of Pomona Valley's Ebell Museum that you see behind me. The next day, I called one of the fire stations. I talked to one of the battalion chiefs. I don't know if he's here, and I talked to him about, please tell me the building was saved. And rightfully so, he said, Freddie, yeah, these guys were on it. They were there with less than a minute, saved the building, and with that, it was very honored to say we still got our $3 million to continue to rehabilitate that building and really preserve the history of Pomona, and a true testament of our local fire department's teamwork and coordination. The collaboration that exists among our first responders showcases their professionalism and dedication. Thanks to them, their invaluable artifacts and records were saved, ensuring future generations can learn and appreciate our heritage. I was born and raised here in Pomona. My wife and I raised our kids here, and helping our grandkids, it's important to protect our city's future for those future generations. The Historical Society of Pomona Valley follows the motto that only by knowing where we have been can we know where we're headed. This has resonated with me throughout my time in office. As chair of the Assembly Committee on Emergency Management and as an elected official focused on public safety and emergency preparedness, the Historical Society's fire is a reminder of the risk our first responders take and the critical role they play in our communities and the importance of fire safety and prevention in our homes and businesses. I urge everyone to take proactive steps to protect their properties and to participate in your local fire safety programs. Thank you once again to our firefighters for your bravery and professionalism. Now I turn it over to my colleague, Senator Susan Rubio.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, it's such an honor to be in the presence of all our firefighters here today. As we know, recently we celebrated first responders, and again, this is another great opportunity to honor you, to say thank you, and to really thank you for your personal sacrifice. I know it's not just a job. I know your family sacrificed along with you. On a personal note, I've been a teacher for 20 years, and I'll never forget one memory when I had a kindergarten come in. A little boy who was a little sad, and I wasn't sure what was happening. And I probed. He didn't want to talk, but I probed, and his father was a firefighter who had just perished in a fire the night before, and I could not believe he was in my class that morning. But that is the impact, the sacrifice of family members. So thank you. Thank you. A big round of applause to all of you, please. Thank you. So teaching is in my blood. Besides being a state senator for this region, I've taught history for many, many years, and so to know that this building was safe because of your bravery, your quick action, really gives me a lot of pride to be here today to recognize all of you. Also, as a 20-year veteran of the Women's Club, it's not lost on me that this building was originally a Women's Club center and continues to really preserve the history of this wonderful community. And it's important to know our history, to understand where we came from and how to really honor those that came before us, who gave us these opportunities that we have today. So again, today I want to just say thank you to all those that responded very quickly to this fire. I understand that I think the chief just told me 90 seconds, correct me if I'm wrong, but wow, 90 seconds, and that's why we have this building behind us. And I want to also take a moment to thank our outgoing Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez. He was instrumental in securing $3 million for the preservation of this historical landmark here. And so thank you. And I know that he'll be leaving us at the end of this year, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge what a strong advocate he's been for our first responders, being one himself, his policy, his efforts, his fundraising efforts to always make sure that firefighters, police, ambulances, and everyone that works in the front line is always taken care of. So thank you. Can we give him a big round of applause, please? Thank you. And so we have so many to recognize today, but again, I just want to say I know that for some of us or some of the community members, it is perceived as a job, but I know it's a passion, and you really have to love the job to always put your life on the line every time you go out into a call. And it takes, like I said, not just sacrifice from yourselves, but your children, your family members, and community. So we want to just say thank you and a brief token of appreciation for everything that you've done. It's a long list, so I'm going to honor you with a certificate of recognition from the State Senate. If I call your name, please come up. I'm going to ask the Assembly member, do you want to come up with me? Okay, so I will announce him, and he has a certificate as well. Is that what we're doing? Okay, thank you. And so again, thank you for everyone that already takes care of this building. Naturally, Chief, thank you so much for being here and allowing me to be part of this celebration. And to those that, again, have taken care of preserving the records of this wonderful community, thank you for everything that you do, and our city manager, who's also here as well. But I'm going to call a couple of you, and I'm going to ask you to line up here if you can. I have my assistant come up today. So I'm going to ask all of you to join me as I call you. So first of all, we want to recognize Pomona Quint 185, Engine 182, Engine 183, Engine 184, and Engine 186, Squad 182, Squad 183, and Battalion Chief 15. So we'll start with those first. Let me just read one.
Should we have the supervisor? I think they have some certificates to do everybody at the same time. You think?
If you want to do that?
Yeah, just everybody.
Okay. So do I send them back?
Yeah, no, we can do them all at the same time if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
I got my certificate.
Okay, so we don't want to make you come up twice. So the Assembly member is suggesting we all who have certificates recognize them all at the same time. So I'll ask everyone to come up. On my behalf, on behalf of the State Senate, I'll read one, and all of you will receive the same thing. And it reads, on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to recognize all those who came to help with this fire. I commend your tireless efforts and exceptional courage to protect and serve our community through your swift response to the fire at the Pomona E-Bell Museum of History. Thank you for your honorable service and invaluable contributions to the Historical Society of Pomona Valley. Thank you so very much. So we'll start with Assembly member.
So are we starting with 185?
Yes. So again, it was 185, Engine 182, Engine 183, 184, Engine 186, Squad 182, Squad 183, Battalion Chief 15. We'll start there.
184?
It should be in order for Pomona.
And mine are not. This is 184.
As they're all receiving their certificates, once again, we want to say just thank you so very much. And I know that Engine 183 and Squad 183 were the first ones on the scenes to catch this. So thank you. And thank you all of you for being here and taking the time to honor these wonderful heroes that I say every day we should be thanking, not just today, but, you know, on behalf of the California State Senate, we thank you. And I think now I'm going to turn it over to the city manager. Right? Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for your service.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. And extra, yes, big round of applause for all of our firefighters. Thank you so much for all of your help and your service. On behalf of the mayor and the city of Pomona, I'm extremely proud to be here this morning to give thanks to our police and fire and our fire department that was able to save this building and leave it and preserve it for our future of our community and our residents. Looking at this building behind me, I come from a building and safety background, planning. I see wood shingles, wood frame, a building that was built in 1910. And how miraculous is it that it's still standing with wood shingles, fire source galore, and that we were able to remain it intact. The building structurally is still sound. There's repairs to be made with the help of Assemblymember Rodriguez. There's money to be able to do that. There's hope on the horizon, and that is because of the brave work that the men and women of the fire department were able to do that evening. And I remember getting the text, that the fire alert that gets sent out to the electeds and staff, that there was a fire. And Deborah, I know our hearts collectively sank. The city is so proud to be a partner with the Historical Pomona Valley, Historical Society of Pomona Valley. And I dreaded the next text of what was to come, because as a city leader, those things are out of my control. It is in the hands of the professionals to alleviate that concern and to do the best that you can in the circumstances given. And what a miraculous job that was done to save this building, to live another day, generations, another century, to build that history within the city of Pomona. So I'm very eternally thankful for that. And we value the city of Pomona, our partnership with LA County Fire, the level of service that's provided. And this just speaks volumes to that, and that commitment, that level of service that we all spoke about. It's when going through the certificates, it's 101 got called out. That's duty calls. That's what you do day in and day out. And extremely proud to be here this morning to exemplify that thanks and recognize all of your hard work. So on behalf of the city of Pomona, thank you very much, and have a great day. And I am now turning it over to Fire Representative from Supervisor Hilda Solis's office.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Eva Theo Mays, and I am here on behalf of LA County Board Supervisor for the 1st District, Hilda L. Solis. In her remarks, I would really like to congratulate all of our LA County Fire Departments for doing such a courageous job. It's not just this particular time, but every time there is an incident, everyone is out there in seconds and minutes as fast as they can to try to save lives. We really don't know what's going to happen next in a person's chapter's life, but you guys are always there. And it's not easy for your families. Your families have to see you gone for so many hours, so many weeks, so many months, and not knowing if you guys are going to come back. So we also want to thank all of your families for having your support, for having giving you that encouragement and that courageousness that everyone needs to be our first responders. And on behalf of the EBEL, I know this was a historic building in our community. It's been here since 1910. I believe they started a church here beforehand in 1897 until it was dedicated in 1910. So it's a huge staple in our community. And to respond so quickly and to save this building is truly amazing and a miracle. So we thank all of you for being here and for being so responsive. Thank you.
So good morning. I really don't believe it's lost on any of us that the triumph that we're celebrating today certainly could have been a tragedy. Had it not been for the men and women that you see before you of the County of Los Angeles Fire Department. We really are an amazing department, not because of our mission or where we are, but because of the people who work for us. So a real acknowledgement and thanks to all of the firefighters who responded that evening. So I am County of Los Angeles Fire Chief Anthony Maroney. I'm honored to join you today as we gather to recognize the remarkable firefighters who quickly responded to the fire at this Historical Society of Pomona building on September 28th. I would like to express my gratitude to Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez, a true champion and advocate of first responders, for hosting this special event. And I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to 1st District Supervisor Hilda Solis and Senator Susan Rubio for their leadership and continued support, as well as Dr. Anita Gutierrez, Pomona City Manager, and our Historical Society President, Deborah Clifford, and all the other distinguished dignitaries and guests that we have here today. We are gathered to honor the dedicated firefighters who responded to this fire that heavily damaged this important building. The Historical Society is a cherished pillar of the City of Pomona's heritage and a beloved symbol of local community history with great value. Every day, our firefighters come to work with one goal in mind: to help the residents of the community we serve. We are all dedicated to taking care of each city we serve, and taking care of the City of Pomona is our #1 priority. As Fire Chief, I cannot express enough my gratitude for the firefighters with us today and for their swift response and action in containing the fire to only the front entry of this amazing building, helping to save numerous artifacts and other important items and that are dear to the Historical Society and its members. The collaborative efforts across multiple battalions and cities highlights the effectiveness of teamwork in containing and quickly extinguishing the fire and ensuring the safety of nearby residents. With numerous resources deployed, our firefighters acted swiftly, demonstrating their unparalleled readiness and preparedness. And without hesitation, our firefighters sprang into action, demonstrating their exceptional skills at what they do best, protecting Pomona. I would also like to take this opportunity to highlight the exceptional efforts of Engine 183 and Squad 183, along with their captain, Stephen Chavez, who was the first to arrive on scene just 90 seconds after the 911 call was dispatched. We are also thankful there were no injuries, which is a testament to the exceptional skills and commitment of our firefighting team. We look forward to our continued partnership with the City of Pomona as we uphold our tradition of delivering the best fire protection and life safety services to both the residents and the city. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin speaking, I wanted to introduce the historical board. If you guys would stand, these are my partners in crime, or partners in saving. Renee Barbie, Donna Otero Manzanares, Alice Gomez, Michael Showalter, John Clifford, and who am I missing? Benny Ayala, good God. Yeah, Benny. And also to give you a little bit of information about our city manager, she's the daughter of a 30-year veteran firefighter from the Rialto area. So, family. When I got that phone call from PD at 1 in the morning, it was a call I'd been expecting since I became president in 2018. It is a shingle building made out of all of wood, and it just looks like it should go up in flames quickly. Now, the board and I clearly know how old the building is and how much repair it needs and how little money we have had. But with a generous grant from our Assemblyman, Freddie Rodriguez, we started repairing starting on September 10th. However, we weren't quite fast enough. When I came down Caswell that night and saw only smoke and no flames, tiny seed of hope sprang to life. I expected to find it fully engulfed and gone within minutes. As I watched, I realized how lucky we had been. Lucky that the neighbor saw the smoke and flame and called. Lucky that Station 183 got here. From the firemen, I heard they got here in 40 seconds. I'm just wondering. Either way, a record, I'm sure. Lucky the roof was open to be re-roofed, and so water could be poured in from the top. Lucky that that building is made out of old-growth redwood that burns very slowly. The structure of this old lady helped us almost as much as the firemen. We were lucky. But there's another element that was not luck. That night, I saw professionalism at its best. But I also saw that professionalism balanced with your humanity. A number of firemen came over to tell me they did everything they could to protect the artifacts, sincerely regretting that they might not have been able to save everything. You moved pieces, you covered much of the furniture with plastic, boxes stayed drier, not getting soaked, and then one by one came up to apologize because you were worried you might not have done enough, might not have saved enough. Your caring made the evening easier for me because it's tough to watch something like this burn. We did lose some things, including 4 gate latches. Dang, that's the harder part. Shoosh, as you cut your way in to get in. But anyway, but the list of what you saved is much, much longer. You saved A.E. Courier's desk, first state senator elected from the Pomona area in 1898. You saved 2 18th century Chinese vases that are almost as tall as I am. They're near the start of the fire. Those were the first things to go to the other end of the building. Wonderful. 2 photo collections that have recorded most of the 20th century history of Pomona. And a grandfather clock, to name a few. And there is one other. Out in front of those little pivot bushes over there, there was a frame of the 1949 Pomona Fire Department staff. Somebody brought it out, set it against the bushes, and every one of you, I swear to the Lord, stopped to look at it and go, they got fire history here. I laughed in spite of the shape of the building. I just thought it was great. Ladies and gentlemen, by saving the Ebel, our home, you became part of our history. And that makes you part of the Pomona family. Hands down. You know, we teach our 4th grade Adobe Tour students that they're all living on the ranch. You firefighters work on the ranch, whether you come from Claremont, San Dimas, Laverne, or Pomona, because you also work on the ranch if you're from Glendora, Diamond Bar, and Walnut. These communities are rich with history, and we hope you're interested in it now and might want to learn about it. So at the end of this, I will find all the appropriate fire people and give them passes to all of our events for the 2025 year. Find a tour, an annual dinner, a barbecue at the Palomares Adobe. Come, bring your family, and help us celebrate our historical moments as well. It's the least we can do for the newest members of our family. In Pomona, family's important, so you're now a part of it, whether you want to be or not. The Historical Society of Pomona thanks you very, very much for helping us save what you did. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Well, once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out again to this celebration, and thanks to our firefighters, our first responders, for ultimately saving a lot of history of the city's history in Pomona. Thanks to your quick actions, everybody, the first engine 183s, 182s, all the Pomona engines, and the surrounding folks that came out to provide the additional support to do what they had to do to save the building, protect its property. Once again, thanks for everybody for joining us here today, and I think this is a true testament. All the fire stations need to stay open in this city and many other cities, because events like this is the reason why we have our firefighters and stations throughout this city. So once again, I can't continue to say it, but it's a big thanks not only for me and the history of the city, but for the community, as Deborah talked about, and Chief, Senator, and City Manager, and our representative from Solis's office. Thank you once again. We're all in this together. We're a family. We acknowledge the hard work you do day in and day out. I know it's challenging now doing your job, what you do from the pandemic and what we're faced with now. But lo and behold, we give you thanks and praise you for all the jobs you do day in and day out. And I know it's tough being away from families and friends. Those 24-hour shifts are brutal. I know some of the folks I'm looking at right now work calls with you guys. I know what it's like, one of those calls at 2 in the morning. But once again, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And with that, that's a wrap. And thanks, and let's go Dodgers, right? Appreciate it all for coming out here. Also, we do have some refreshments and pastries if anybody likes to in the building here on the side. Thank you.